If you knew this earlier, your financial life would be completely different. And I don't mean different because you found a magic trick. I mean different because you would finally stop making money decisions from emotion and start making them from clarity. Let me ask you something honest. Have you noticed how money can control people's mood? When they have money, they feel confident. When they don't, they feel ashamed. Some people feel important when their account is up and feel humiliated when it's down. How can a number, how can paper have that much power over a human being? Because money is not just math. Money is emotional. Money is identity. Money is pressure. Money is comparison. And if you don't heal what money touches inside you, it doesn't matter how many strategies you learn. You'll keep repeating the same cycle. That's why in this series we're not only talking about finances, we're talking about a better life, a calmer life, a life with stability. Because when your money is disorganized, it doesn't stay in your wallet, it leaks into your relationships, your peace, your sleep, your confidence, and your future. Now, today I want to talk about practical strategies to start earning and building in 2026. But before we go there, we need to fix something most people never fix: your reason. Some people want money to prove something, to show family they won, to impress a neighbor, to post a lifestyle online so they feel valued, and I'm telling you, with love. That motivation will not heal you. It will make you sicker emotionally. It will create more insecurity, more impulse, and more pressure because you're trying to use money to cover an emotional wound. So here's the reset. The healthiest reason to grow financially is simple. You want money to create peace at home, to take care of your family, to build stability, and then when you're strong, use your resources to open doors for others through opportunity, not chaos. Because money is access. Money is options. Money is timing. Money is support. And when you put money in its right place, when money becomes a tool instead of a master, your life gets lighter. So let's go into the first strategy. And it's one of the biggest keys that separates people who stay stuck from people who finally level up. You cannot depend on a single stream of income forever. Here's the truth. Most people believe a paycheck will transform their life. A paycheck can stabilize you, yes, but for most people, one income stream rarely creates real freedom. And that's why the first strategy is simple but powerful. Build multiple streams of income, not 10 streams. Not chaotic hustling, not doing everything at once. I'm talking about one main income and then one additional stream that fits your reality. Because depending on one source of income is like standing on one leg in a storm. If anything shakes, everything shakes. But when you have 2 or 3 streams, your life becomes steadier. You stop living in constant fear. You stop feeling like one unexpected expense can ruin your month. Now, let me say this clearly. You don't create multiple streams overnight. You build them step by step based on your energy and your season of life. If you're a parent, you might not have 5 free hours a day. That's okay. You can start with 1 hour, 3 times a week. Consistency beats intensity. Here are a few realistic examples of a second stream. If you're good at organizing, you can offer a simple service. If you can cook or bake, you can sell something locally or online. If you know social media, you can help a small business with content. If you speak 2 languages, you can translate or tutor. If you have a skill people ask you about, you can teach it. The goal is not to find the perfect idea. The goal is to find a workable idea and stick with it long enough to become income. And I need you to hear this. The biggest enemy of extra income is not lack of talent. It's complainant energy. Some people spend more time blaming the economy, blaming the government, blaming their past, blaming their boss, than they spend building a plan. And I'm not saying life is easy. I'm saying you will never build freedom with a mindset that gives your power away. The people who grow are not the people with the easiest life. They're the people who decide, no matter what, I'm building something. So here's your first step. Pick one additional stream. You can start with the time you actually have, not the time you wish you had. Now, once you begin earning extra money, most people make the next mistake. They immediately increase lifestyle. They reward themselves before they stabilize themselves. And that takes us to strategy number 2. Lower short-term pleasure so you can raise long-term investment. Let's talk about the second strategy. Lower short-term pleasure so you can raise long-term investment. Because this is where most people lose. They work harder, they earn more, and then they spend more without even realizing it. The stress stays the same. The anxiety stays the same. The cycle stays the same, just with bigger numbers. Here's the truth. Real financial change happens when you create a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is not punishment. That gap is your freedom. And I know what you might be thinking, but I deserve to enjoy life. Yes, you do. But there's a difference between enjoying life and using spending as emotional relief. When you're tired, you spend to feel better. When you're stressed, you spend to feel in control. When you're insecure, you spend to feel worthy. And the problem is, the relief lasts minutes, but the consequences last weeks. So here's a simple question that changes everything. Is this purchase solving a real need or trying to soothe an emotion? Because if it's emotional, the price isn't just money, the price is peace. Now, once you create that gap, what do you do with it? You invest. And investing doesn't have to be complicated to be powerful. Some people invest by learning skills that increase income. Some invest by building a small business. Some invest in savings to stop living one emergency away from panic. Some invest in long-term assets over time. But no matter what your investment style is, the goal is the same. Build stability first, then build growth. And let me add something important. You don't have to do this alone. One of the smartest moves you can make is learning from people who are financially wiser than you, people who can help you avoid expensive mistakes. Because when you're emotional, you can make fast decisions that cost you years. Ajude mentor, a good guide, a good system can save you from that. Now, here's where this gets real. Even when you're building extra income, even when you're cutting unnecessary spending, even when you're investing, life will still bring desserts, a dream trip, a car upgrade, something for your kids, something you've wanted for years. And this is the moment most people sabotage themselves. They take money from the progress they worked so hard to build, and they spend it on the dream. Then they're back at zero, and they feel like a failure. So I want to give you a tool that protects your progress while still allowing you to enjoy life. It's called the money jar method. And the idea is simple. Never fund a desire with the money that's building your future. If you want something new, you create new money for it. A separate lane, a separate plan, a separate jar, because your future deserves protection and your dreams deserve structure. Here's how the money jar method works in real life. Step 1. You keep doing what you're already doing, building your main income, adding one extra stream, lowering emotional spending, and investing the difference. That's your foundation. That's your stability. Step 2. When a dream shows up, something you really want, here's the rule. You do not touch your foundation money. You don't break your progress to fund a desire. Instead, you create a separate jar, a separate plan, called new money for a new desire. So let's say your dream is a trip, a car, a course, or something for your family. You name the jar, you set a target, and you choose a simple way to generate extra income specifically for that jar. It can look like one weekend of extra work, one short project, selling things you don't use, offering a simple service, or taking one opportunity that brings in additional cash. The point is this: your desire gets its own lane, and when your desire has its own lane, your future stays protected. Because here's what most people do. They finally start building, finally start saving, finally start investing, and then they spend it when emotions get loud, and then they feel stuck again. The money jar stops that. It trains your brain to think like a builder, not a spender. It teaches you, I can enjoy my life, but I won't sabotage my life. Now, let me say something that can shift your entire year. You don't need to change everything at once. You need one decision you will repeat consistently. That's how money peace is built. Not with one big moment, but with small choices that create a new identity. So, here's your homework 5 minutes today. First, write down 2 realistic income streams you can start in the next 90 days. Second, choose one pleasure expense you will reduce for 30 days, small but real. Third, create your money jar goal, amount, deadline, and your extra income action this week. And if you want accountability, do this. Put it in your notes and set a weekly reminder called Money Peace Check-in. Now, if this helped you, here are 3 quick actions. First, like this video tells the algorithm this message matters. Second, subscribe to this channel, because we're not just talking about money, we're healing the emotional patterns behind money. And third, comment, I'm building money peace, and tell me your number 1 focus right now. Income, spending, or investing. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're building. And this year, you're not repeating the same level.